Yo! Welcome everyone to day number 1 of spring season 2023. Hope that y'all are excited for this one. I'm excited. This is going to be a Blitzmaster spring. Just a couple months ago, we had our Blitz Masters Winter Edition, and now it is springtime, and we are here with another edition of the tournament. And this is one that I'm pretty excited for. Of course, we've got, NA's top teams are all back at it again. Some new faces on each of the rosters. I'm pretty excited to see how this one turns out. Did a little bit of shuffling around. Joker has a lot of their OG top players back on the team. They're looking in great shape right now. But lots of really good players on the other top teams as well. Apex picked up some names. Joker picked up some names. Ponda as well. They all took names. So we've got a really good showing. I am super excited for. Plenty of other new teams as well. Some returning faces. We can go ahead and actually go through all of the teams in just a second here. I just wanted to fix something up on my Discord before the stream gets started. But while I'm doing that, also wanted to say hello to everyone who's watching on YouTube while either it's live right now or if you're just watching from the future. Hope that y'all are excited for spring season. I sure am. Again, I have no idea who I'm following tonight. I was not told ahead of time. Brackets weren't drawn until about an hour ago, and everyone from Wargaming staff is probably asleep right now, and I did not get any indication on the sign-up sheet that I normally get told where I am following someone. Nothing today, so unfortunately we're going to be going in blind. That's totally cool. I don't really care who I follow. It's just day one. It's qualifiers. Don't expect to see too many major upsets today, although if there were, that would be pretty cool. But just not really expected. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share our teams for today, or for this entire tournament, I should say. PYS 1. Zoom out a little bit just so that my face doesn't block it all. But we have 35 teams that are registered for the first Prove Your Skill tournament. We've got PT2K, Aster, ATTE, VU, Lux, Riot, K24, Heap. I don't know how to pronounce that. XIHIX. I don't know how I'm going to say that. ZHix? I have no idea. Redeemers, Union, Chrono, MPs, BS, Mix A, Hako, DQ, INQ, MM, Veli, One Pex, Nox, Eno, Divni, Hated, Elev, Straight, SLG, VG, Ponda, Reggie, 4L, Apex, Origin, and last but not least, your defending champions, the Jokers. Now again, all of top 4 is returning this season. Ponda, Apex, Origin, Joker are all here. And at the moment, they're currently seeded in order of how they placed last season, with the exception of 4L and Reggie throwing themselves in there. 4L got 5th place last season, and Reggie, I do not believe, competed. But I'm excited to see how this season goes. 35 solid teams, and among them, a lot of teams above 65%. Like, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 of the 35 teams are above 65% in terms of tier 10 win rate. I'm pretty happy about that. I think it's going to be reasonably competitive for NA. Top 4 usually, not super contested, but I think there are several teams in here that could definitely give Ponda, Apex a run for their money, of course. Joker and Origin are usually the two teams that you think are the safest in there. Apex, who normally you would consider to be a top team, didn't actually make top 4 in the fall, which was a bit of a bummer for them. And 4L, they just placed outside of top 4 last season. But all of these teams will be competing for that spot. Yeah, we're going to be getting our invite in just a few minutes here, but there are some brackets that I wanted to briefly look at least just go over all of the groups that we'll be seeing today. And I'm actually going to zoom a little bit because the text is small. I understand that. And I am going to move myself all the way over to the other side here. So our brackets today that we will be looking at, there's going to be 10 brackets. There's 9 or 10. I don't remember if there's 9 or 10. But of the brackets, 2 teams will be going on to the next day, right? So the top 2 teams out of Group 1, which this is Group 1 right here. The top 2 teams from Group 2, I'll give you all a second. 4L and 1Pex, the favorites there. But, we could be shown up by any of those other teams. Same here. Hated probably favored over BS, but BS had a solid showing last season. They got 16th place. They did make one of the last chance tournaments to qualify. Team 3 here, VG have a high win rate team. This is a new clan. MM, who they did qualify again for top 16 last season. They had a very unfortunate season, but we'll see if they get a better lineup this time around. We get SLG, which is the team that's coming up out of nowhere. They've got a ton of really top level players on their team. This is I don't remember what nationality. They are a LATAM clan, but they've got a lot of top players, including 777 from last season, who was on the Joker team, who I think was honestly the Joker MVP last season. He is now playing on SLG, so that is something to keep an eye on. They could be a big sleeper team. Group 5 here, we've got your Joker team Elevate, most likely to make it in those two, but you never know. Upsets always do happen, and MPs weren't looking too bad with their own win rate. Reggie INQ here, the favorites, of course. Ponda and Valley here. Straight Nux here, and then the 9th bracket, I believe, is the group of 3. Yeah, so Apex got into their group of 3, so lucky them. They have a bye for the first game, but that is the only advantage they get from being in this group of 3, but 2 of these 3 teams will qualify, so yeah, as long as Apex doesn't lose both of these sets in a row, they should qualify. If they win at least once today, they will qualify. So good for Apex. But yeah, that is going to be our brackets for the PYS number 1. Of course, tomorrow's brackets are yet to be drawn. That will be determined by how today goes and which teams qualify. It's not like there's a set pattern on which group winners will go where. It's dependent on win rate and seeding, as is dictated by the tournament rules. I'm going to zip myself back over to the other side. We're going to go back in-game, take a look, see if we get our invite yet. We have not, but I would hope that we get one soon. If I did not get one, that will be rather unfortunate. Oh, there we go. We did get our invite, and what are the teams going to be? We've got Joker and PT2K, so we will be following Joker today. Sounds good. I don't have a logo for PT2K, so how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to go with no logos today. And that is most likely how it's going to be for the majority of PYS. At least day 1 of PYS is going to have no logos. Day 2, maybe, who knows. Depends, because I'm trying to pick up as many as I can, but it's very difficult to do, of course. So, it's not a big deal if we don't have them. I can just show the stream without them. No problem at all, but you will go ahead and wait a couple minutes for things to settle down so I can join the room without having to spoil the team lineups because of delay. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to this scene right now. You guys can't see anything at all in the Blitz garage, but everyone's starting to say hello in chat. Hello, everybody. Are we there yet? What's up, Akame? Wow Bow from YouTube. Big Belch from YouTube as well. Ammo, Ominous, Fizzy, Jim, Lucido, Jisuya, Kujis, Rayan, Haved, Kamau, Sava, and Trading. Oh my goodness, lots of y'all in here. Everyone's sending one unique message. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Show the logos like you did at Fault. Unfortunately, I don't have all the logos yet. Once we get like a top 8, that's when I can start doing that, Haved. But there's 35 teams right now. I do not have 35 logos. I did not reach out to 35 teams. Admittedly, I have not started reaching out for logos yet. I wasn't really planning on doing that until we have a more set roster of teams. Maybe eventually I'll just start making fake logos like I did last season for a couple of the teams, but I didn't even know who I was going to be spectating today, which is why I did not do that. So we're not going to worry about the logos right now. We'll do that later. What tank am I sitting in? Well, I sold my tank from last season and I bought myself a new one. I will let you guys guess what it is. Welcome. Looks like chat is working pretty well right now. Both YouTube and Twitch are showing up. Some of the old messages aren't appearing on the stream, but hopefully that does fix itself up here. I'm going to go ahead and enter the training room here so you guys can take a look at the teams. And here we are, got the fancy overlays back. We got a nice new logo here for Blitz Masters. The spring one's got a little bit of nice color to it. Some leaves just to show that spring has sprung. And right away, you're seeing a nice meme lineup here from Joker, and PT2K doesn't even have a 7th player, unfortunately. This is the lowest win rate seeded team in the tournament, but of course that is not an issue at all. It is always good to have more teams competing, and props to PT2K for consistently fielding themselves a team. I'm sure that they're at least having a good time with it, and of course at the end of the day, that's what really matters when you're playing a game like Blitz. Joker, on the other hand, they're trying to have fun in their own way, as they are already expecting to take the wins here. They've got 3 4-2-2s, they've got 3 1-2-1-Bs, and they've got a Sturv K, so at least Lakami is trying pretty hard here. But The rest of Joker, they're just here to have a good time. Pharaoh bringing out a Leopard instead of the 422. Might as well, you know, have some fun with it. P22K not really running any tanks that I would have expected for the meta, except for the Kron and maybe the Yo here and there. I do have an E5 in the mix, so I will give them the E5 and the Kron Von mostly. But type, maybe a bit of a reminiscent part of last meta, before the type did get its mobility nerfed, which did kind of remove a lot of its viability from the competitive scene. T57, something that you don't often see. I think it's a decent tank in its own right, but in competitive, not usually seen as opposed to something like an AMX 50B. But I respect the pick for PT2K. Not that I have to overanalyze this lineup a whole lot, considering they only have 6 tanks, and I think we already know what the result is going to be just because of them having 6 tanks. But, you know, we're here to have a good time. Joker's here to have a good time. And let's get it, y'all. Hope that you guys are excited for the season. SLG from Brazil. Thank you, Pobreza. Appreciate it. From Brazil. I'll try to remember that. Brazil. You got it. Okay. Make sure that everything is set up on my end. Adjust the microphone a little bit. And yeah, things look good on my end. Cool. Alright, system is all set up and we are ready to go. Had to shake off a little bit of the dust here as we prepare for this season, but hopefully things should start going very smoothly here. I'm excited to bring the season to you as we open with game number 1 between Joker and PT2K. Going to be on the map Hellas, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this will not be played in the traditional Hellas manner, that being either heavily stacking at C and holding on trying to grab a cap lead, or heavily stacking at AB trying to grab the cap lead that way. I have a feeling we're just going to see an all-out flat YOLO, 7 mediums on the team of Joker. Look how he did end up swapping to his 1-2-1B. Very nice. So I'm here in Sector 5 pinged on the map here, so I think we will be seeing a nice little mid-YOLO rush here. But who knows, you know, Joker here to have a good time. Love Steely's 1-2-1B camo, he's got the nice fancy one on. Only one on the team that seems to have it. I don't see Lakami quite yet. He's already used his reactive armor, by the way. Really good tactic, actually, something that you don't often know. Sometimes you can take damage really early on in the battle, just on accident, so that does help prevent that from occurring. But look at those 1-2Bs just going right on through the middle. They're going to find something right away. Hello to the T125. Milo is just going straight in. He's got tanks a little bit farther back, not quite ready to support him yet. PT2K is starting to turn around, but already hit points are dropping. T125 from the PT2K team already lit on fire. And yeah, Milo's just farming here. Down goes the E5. The Yo will soon follow, but maybe not before the T57. We're already seeing Assassin Killer farming with his hash here. Gonna sneak in a shot? No. Gonna be looking maybe more towards the other side here. Look at the focus fire. They're splitting their targets. A little bit sloppy here from Joker. There you go, though. They're turning their shots back to get the kill. Unfortunately, going to be leaving the Type 71 on hit points. I'm sure Joker not very happy with this result so far. Of course, their focus fire could have been way better here. Steely does, in fact, go down. Joker's going to be very upset about that. You know, close game 1, but unfortunately for PT2K, despite picking up the kill on Steely, they failed to account for the other 6 tanks on the Joker team, who were able to clutch it up in the end. Very nice game there from Joker. Good showing, although I think the focus fire could use a little bit of work here, if I'm being honest. And you know, this is a great time for them to practice, because I'm sure they might be a little bit rusty from last season, maybe even a little bit worn out, because honestly, last season wasn't that long ago, to be honest. Just a month ago, we were finishing up the last season, so I'm sure Joker's still pretty fatigued, pretty tired from all of that, which could explain the sloppy play that we see here game 1 from them. Game 2, though, they are looking to switch things up here. We're seeing another very interesting lineup. This could be the new meta, actually. I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen a whole lot of Joker play since then. I mean, I did see a little bit of them scrimming against Apex. Sometimes I like to hang out with the Apex team while they're practicing, just, you know, because that's my boys right there. But, of course, I didn't see any 7 Bat Chat play right here, and if we are to see it, which Kakati might not be running his own, only 6 Bat Chats. So, oh, there we go, all 7. So they do find their own meta here. This could be what we see for the rest of the tournament, to be honest with you. I would be very surprised if we saw it, but honestly, Joker's good enough. I think they could pull it off in a 7v7 play against high-level opponents. It would take a little bit of work, but I think they have what it takes. They just need to shake a little bit of the rust off. If they play like Game 1, we aren't going to be seeing Joker staying around in this tournament for very long. They got a little bit lucky with that one, but hopefully this next game they can get it together a little bit here. Like the new tank. Thanks, OG. Yeah, I bought a new tank. Sold the other one. Made a little bit of a profit buying this one. I'm going to do a little bit of fixing up and sell it. And hopefully we'll have another tank for next season too. Going to be bets. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a mod to take care of bets today. I don't really have the time to do it while I'm managing this stream. So I will not be running bets. But if we do have a mod here to do bets, that would be cool. I wouldn't count on it. Plus, I think day one is pretty boring for bets anyway, right? Like, who's really going to bet on PT2K, right? I don't really think that bets would be very productive for day number one, especially when we're following Joker. Let's get it, y'all. Game number 2. Forgot to give Joker a point there. There we go. They are on the board here, and 7 bat chats will be a strategy here. 5 of them have legendary camos. We've got 3 musketeers, which is actually pretty funny now that I think about it. I wonder if they did that intentionally. Probably not. They're not that smart. 3 musketeers and 2 runners. So perhaps 3 of the musketeers will be YOLOing, and then the runners will just be running away. Who knows? But PT2K, with an interesting strategy here, they are going to be lining up in their own spawn. It looks like Joker sent them a peace offering, but unfortunately, I didn't even get to turn my camera in time. PT2K has already lost 1 tank, and the bat chats are just coming in here. Milo going to put a shot in. And survival, unfortunately, for the 263, and instead it is the M60 getting ammo rack there for about half of his hit points. The Kami does fall, though, so 2 tanks from Joker falling this time. Even a worse performance than the last game. If things are going to continue on this trend, we may not see Joker make it to the winner's side grand finals here. They may have a little bit of an issue on their hands. Looks like they are poised to take this game either way, but I would be very nervous if I were them. Like Kakati not even going for the kill on Poland. He clearly has it, right? This is just sloppy play on his part, unfortunately. And the 263, who could have died way earlier on, still alive, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. He must have had a very nice performance here. Unfortunately, though, it is cut short, as again, there are 5 bat chats left for Joker. They take this set 2-0. Well played for both teams, of course, and Joker, you know, they may not be super happy with the way that they performed, but at least they have an idea on what they need to practice on, right? That focus fire could use work, you know, you just got to select your targets better. Wargaming kind of gave them that game, to be honest, with the ammo rack. You know, that was pretty much the reason that they wanted the game, but, you know, it is what it is. That's just Blitz, right? You have a little bit of luck. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That's just life, I suppose. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here and switch back just so you guys can see me now. And we're going to go ahead and take a look together, see how some of the other groups are doing right now. Origin has already qualified. They've beaten Aster. 4L has already beaten Heap. They're having a couple quick sets here, it looks like. Straight already beat ATTE. I'm wondering how many of these teams just didn't show up straight up. But I have no idea who I'm going to be watching next. I'm going to be watching Joker play next, or if I'm going to be watching PT2K play next. Either way, Joker's game is guaranteed to be at 8:30. I know I'm going to have time to at least play 1 game, so we'll just go ahead and play a pub battle, I suppose. I'm not going to play the Kenyatsu, though. Not really a tank that I think I should be bringing out into pubs, and you know, I hope that y'all understand where I'm coming from with that. Let's play the Borsig. Where's the Borsig? I'm not biting the bullet buying this beautiful legendary camo. I normally don't buy legendaries, but I was just so impressed with this one that I had to, you know. The Borsig, one of my favorite tanks in the game, has been for a while, and I mean, it's fallen off a little bit in terms of my taste because of the alpha damage nerf. I don't really think it needed a nerf from 640 to 600. So Loved it a little bit less since that nerf, but you know, still a tank that I enjoy greatly, so we'll bust it out a little bit here. And just hint, I am not sitting in a Borsig right now. The tank that I'm sitting in real life, it's not a Borsig. Because, you know, you guys can see, I've got a roof over me, and this tank really doesn't have one. Although I suppose there's probably room for, like, the driver under there, but I've got a little bit more space than that, so, yeah, I'm not driving a Borsig. I'll just give that to you. Alright. Together says the 301. I don't really feel like driving wherever that 301 is. If he's going in that corner, I don't really think that's my spot, so I don't really want to go together there. We do a little trolling. Alright. It looks like both streams are putting out good quality right now, so that's good. No internet issues as of right now. Whether that will change later, don't know. But for now, we're okay. I just want to double check a couple things. Oh, looks like my elevation's a little messed up. Also, that JP2 totally could have shot him at some point. And they've already lost somebody. I have a feeling this JP2 is not going to be pushing forward. And I am not going to get a shot into him. So I'm just going to ignore him. Not worth my time. Honestly, I could probably go AFK this game and we would win. Their team seems to be really bad. Ooh, then again, our Eagle making a questionable decision of his own. You know, good for him on that end. Right? Do I take the blind shot here? No, I'll just shoot the TS5. Easier shot to hit. I was going to go for the Emil, but no need anymore. Okay, there's the ISU. Line it up. And there we go. Not the best roll that time around. That's okay. There's their JB2. There's their T49. He's looking at me. Hello. I'm just gonna drive right on past. Yes, you can shoot me again. It's possible. It'll probably happen. But I'm just gonna hide behind this thing right here. And I'm fine. Oh, never mind. The IS is kind of doing goofy things to me. Low roll again there. 566. It's okay. We got like, what, 3 shots in there? Quick game. Quick game. This game just as fast as probably the PT2K Joker games, to be honest with you. Alright. The other thing that I wanted to do really quickly with my stream setup was turn off some of the redeems. So I've gotten a couple redeems. I got one for timing out James. That's been done. But in terms of other stuff, don't actually have the time to do right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off some of these redeems on Twitch. So I'm gonna pause timing out James. I'm gonna pause the wide cameras, and replays I can do in between battles. So that's not a big deal, I suppose, in between sets. I just want to check if we have an update right now in terms of who, what these timings will be. So Joker will be playing at 8:32 against Elevate, no surprise. But I want to see what time that other game will be. Chart. I'm just clicking around, man. I don't know what I'm doing. PT2K's game 8:15. So this is already starting up, right? If I had the invite, I would have had it by now. So I have time to play some. Like the camo, I love it too, Kona. It's great. One of my favorite legendaries in the game for sure. That y'all are enjoying the lo-fi vibes. That's how I enjoy to do my tournament streams. I did consider at one point doing like crazy movie trailer sounds, like songs, where it's just like super high energy, like orchestra stuff, but I like the lower energy more, to be honest. Just get to relax and enjoy the gameplay with my homies instead of, you know, building it up and going crazy mode over some hype music, which, you know, to each their own, I suppose, but not really my jam, not really the way that I feel like going to run things. It's taking a while for us to get a game, though. Finally get one after a minute. Nice. Alright. What to do here? I'll probably just end up going to the left. Yeah, kind of where the defender pointed out. I like playing my tank destroyers on this map in the city area. It's just kind of something I prefer to do, but also it looks like my entire team is heading that way anyways, so I would completely and totally get destroyed if I went any other way than the way that these players are going right now. So that makes my decision even easier, even though I had already pretty much made up my mind at that point. I'm surprised to see all 7 players going this way, especially because this is, you know, not usually the place that most pub players go, but, you know, it's fine, I guess. That hit something. Didn't hit him, but hit something. Hit somebody. I know that. Someone else may show up over there, like, with half the hit points gone. And we get this shot in. Ooh, nice. Unfortunately, our stayer is a little bit too far forward, and he's not going to survive much longer. Can we get a shot in here? Let's hope that shot fly is true. It does. I didn't get spotted for that either. Nice. Mod for PC markers? Karashi's mod is what it's called. Q-A-R-A-S-H-I. I'm using it just because otherwise my face cam covers it. I don't really like modding my game, but if I didn't use this, my face cam would be covering my my banners. That's why. So the question is, did I hit that ISU 130 or someone else over here with that initial shot? Guess we'll see in the post-game results. Nice! 999. We didn't hit the ISU 130. Good roll on him, though. 999? That's the perfect roll for a German tank like mine. That's funny. Beautiful. We get a nice little farm this game, thankfully. 3,200. Plus maybe a blind, but I'm starting to think that might not have gone in. Borel wins it all. I respect that. I respect that. Lord Pripism. I don't know how to pronounce that word, if that's a real word, if that's a made-up word. Our VK is spotted. I can HE him as well. 900 damage. Get myself over 4,000. Let's go. Beautiful game there. Beautiful game. Love Reticle Cali in this tank, I will say. I don't think that the whole line needed it, but if there was any tank in the line that needed Reticle Cali, it was the Borsig. Looks like I didn't get a blind shot, so I really don't know where that opening shot went. I have no clue. Because I hit the Lorraine there, I hit the Scorpion, I hit 6 twice. Yeah, that initial shot just went to Narnia. I have no idea. That could have been more damage, and I could have had like 4.7. But whatever. Whatever. We will continue to game. Borsig fun tank to game in. And I will continue. I will say though, if I have no mods on for the next few days, I may have to see if I can recruit another mod or two. I haven't added a whole lot of mods lately. I added Draconic, who has been an amazing help to the mod squad. He's been the only mod I've added in probably like a year plus, honestly, at this point. Kind of keep the circle small, which is intentional, right? I don't want my mods to take up a majority of my stream. Because it can be kind of awkward going to someone else's stream and like 80% of the messages there are just mods. Just kind of awkward, and it kind of takes the experience a little bit away from the viewer. But if I don't have any available for a good amount of this tournament stream, which is, you know, the tournament streams are where I need moderators the most to help out, because I can't manage chat while first of all commentating a tournament and second of all managing a time delay. If I can't get anyone to help me out, I may have to recruit someone else, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. Okay, I'm going in a ballsy spot. The Borsig can, honestly, I think the Borsig can do it just fine. So my camo is absolutely nutty. I've got my camo net on. I'll drive forward just a little bit, see if I can get my gun depression, but now I'm a little forward in front of the bush. I lit here. I hope I'm not lit. I'm not lit. This is a very aggressive position. I wouldn't necessarily recommend other people to do it. But me, I'm just that guy. I am just that guy. Shoot, I accidentally pressed W there. I wasn't sure if I wanted to press S. Wasn't sure if I wanted to back up or not. Had my finger on the button and I guess I pressed it just a little bit too much. Now, if he starts pushing past me, now I'm a little nervous. I'll put that shot in though. And I will back down like this. But if they're not going to push with this player, then I will have a second shot for free. And this player will be suffering. That's big because they only have 2 tier 9 tanks each. And K91 is an amazing one. Honestly, in my opinion, a top 10 tank of the tier. Oh my goodness. T49 thankfully didn't locate me there. That could have been bad. Could have been very bad, but let's see if I can locate a HE shot into him. Oh, just misses, and I take a shot from their Yag Tiger. I believe that's what was their Yag Tiger. Yeah, that hurt. I wish that pendant of the T49 because it makes this next one a little bit less scary. But you know what they say? No balls. Worth it. Worth it, worth it, worth it. Absolutely worth it. They've only got their TDs left. Do I have the gun depression for this? No. If I turn this way, I do, but he's backed up in time, unfortunately. That's okay. I can push forward because their Yag Tiger is just red line camping behind this specific building right here, unless he's moved, in which case, fair play. But for some reason, I doubt it. Yeah, I doubted it very much. And there's a freebie. Not spotted either, because the Borsig's camo is legendary. No pun intended. Just kidding, I was entirely intended. But yeah. Nice. Love the Borsig. It's a fun tank. I am going to hold tight, not going to join another battle at this point. Hello, are there drops? What's up, Alpha? There are not drops today. However, there are some fun tournament games for you to enjoy, if you would like. Just currently playing in pubs while we wait for the next game. However, just finished that pub game. I don't think we're going to have time before another before we get our invite. Actually, yeah, we will. We will have time for another. The games start in 10 minutes. If this is a 7-minute game, I will still have time. What's up, Boring Pickle? Did a match happen and I missed it? Yes, Pickle, you did miss a match. The highest win rate team, Joker, just beat the lowest win rate team, PT2K, where PT2K had only 6 players, unfortunately. Army Reject, you stream on YouTube too? I multi-stream for these tournaments only. I don't normally stream on YouTube. I don't really make content directed for YouTube, but I do multi-stream these tournaments because for one, YouTube provides a nice archive for me to store past tournament VODs, because Twitch doesn't store VODs, right? They only hold on to them for 60 days unless you make like a highlight. But YouTube, you know, you can just save it on YouTube, right? And it's full quality, it's nice, I don't have to worry about exporting, which not that exporting is a big like chore or anything, but some quality can be lost along the way. In this way, it's not lost. And also, some people watch only on YouTube and not on Twitch, so I can kind of poke into a different audience as well. Unfortunately, it looks like my team is starting to leave this uphill area. I'm which I am not very pleased about, but I can't do much about it either. I'm trying to ask why they're going town. It's strategically an unadvantageous position. Disadvantageous position, I would even go so far as to say. But if that is how they want to do it. That really went, that went a little high there, unfortunately. And so, the 131 does survive. I definitely saw myself HE penning him, but I suppose not today. Our Chimera is continuing to take hits, which I am not pleased with. And they're going to start pushing into my team soon. I'll just take a kill and a run. Again, I wish my team weren't sitting in the base, but they are. And I can't do anything about it. I could have moved. I didn't move because I was greedy. And I shall pay the consequences now. I'm going to try to shoot this player right there. Tracked him. Well, let's see if I can distract this team for long enough. No. My player drives out of the cap. Drives out of the cap. After the whole battle plan being to stay in the cap, he drives out of the cap. Hey. Okay. Before you fired and missed. And I got myself caught on the rock, or on the corner, and died. Good job, Comet. If your whole battle plan was to capture the base, I don't understand why you drove off of it, just to put in one shot of 160 damage. Maybe this T-49 can clean things up, though. He seems competent. The IS-2 also picks up that kill. Comet's obviously going to struggle in a 1 versus 1 with a Chimera that literally does basically triple his alpha damage. But thankfully, IS-2 T-49 make quick work of the prototype, and the 49 should be able to HE the Chimera without issue. Yeah, IS-2 will fall here. Won't get another shot in either. It's a bit of a bummer. T-49's lining his up. Put that in. Nice shot. IS-2 is not happy. But yeah, I fully trust that this T-49 can clean things up, especially if the Chimera has the ability to shoot the Comet, like so. Comet's going to be able to put some DPM in since the Chimera isn't facing the tank. T-49 cleaning up with the kill, very nice. Glad that we got the win there. That was not a great game on my part, unfortunately. But RIP. Well, that was a good one. Not really, but GG to our T-49. You did a good job. Unfortunately, that's going to bring down my average damage for the day because, you know. Okay, so we're watching Joker and Elevate. So Joker's on the left, Elevate's on the right. Joker, Elev. These two actually do have icons, so let's show their icons. Let's do that. Let's show them. We'll go back to our favorite Tier 3 Japanese light tank. And I will go ahead and put us in just chatting mode while we wait. So Joker versus Elevate is going to be the first, or the second set of the day that we will watch. Again, both teams did win their sets. I didn't check the Elevate score. I can go ahead and do that really quickly right now. If I check them out, they beat Emphy's EMPYZ 2-0. Expected, to be honest. Elevate is a top 8 clan, and expected them to make it this far. They will be playing against Joker on the map Port Bay, which is a map that I despise for pubs, but in competitive, I think it's not a bad map at all. I mean, I think North Spawn has an advantage, but this is a best of 3, and since Port Bay is the first map, both teams will have an opportunity to play from North Spawn, so that's not really an excuse to have. Both teams will be able to plan their lineups accordingly, so this is not a concern. But we'll give it just a minute here, and we can go ahead and show you guys all what the training room is looking like. But again, yeah, this is a best of 3, so this is the winners finals, where the number 1 team, the team that comes out on top, makes their way to Grands and automatically is qualified for day 2 of Prove Your Skill number 1, where the loser will have a chance to face against the winner of MPs and PT2K, which I hope PT2K grab their 7th player, because it's always good to field a full team if possible. Gamer recommends me to watch. Well, welcome to the stream, Alpha Neuronic. Yeah, I do not have drops, unfortunately. Yeah. But I do hope you stick around, because I think that this is enjoyable to watch. And Elevate's a good team. They could pull a sneaky one on Joker, even though they are the defending champions, right? It's definitely possible to pull a sneaky. So we're going to go ahead and enter. Oop. Looks like I didn't update the icons properly. My fault. Come on. I was looking at the old Apex icons. I was just kind of comparing the two when I was formerly using the overlay. And I didn't switch the icons out. But here we go. Joker versus Elevate. Again, 2 top 8 level clans. Joker, of course, a top 1 level clan, but that's beside the point here. And they have an interesting strategy here. 2 Vickers light tanks. I haven't seen a whole lot of Vickers in my scrimming experiences. I have been spectating a decent amount of scrims. Again, most of them have pretty much just been Apex and whoever team they play, so I don't have a full broadened perspective of what the entire NA server is playing quite yet. But Joker seems to believe in Vickers on the map Port Bay, at least on the North Spawn. Also running 2 MLEs, which is a tank known for having tungsten shells. Just got that in the 9.1 update, which definitely improves its alpha damage from an already solid 480 to even higher than that. I think you get an average 15% bonus running that consumable, but I don't remember what the exact number is there. But either way, going to boost that 480 alpha damage even higher. Going to be very nice for the Joker team. 2 SDRVKs as well, which is of course the current meta right now. That mobile tank that has a ton of DPM and enough hit points to be a heavy will have the mobility of a medium tank, and also having that premium speed boost consumable to give it even more of a mobility boost when it needs it. Elevate, on the other hand, running a very different meta. In fact, none of the tanks between these 2 teams are shared at all. No Vickers, no MLEs. Oh, it looks like MJ has actually pulled out an IS-7 here last second, so they do share 1 tank. Interesting. So they put him in last second, perhaps? I don't know what they're doing. Making a few last second changes. Everyone's going to the middle. Everyone's spectating. I have a 4-on-7 here. But no, MJ did swap to an IS-7, so we will see 1 tank shared in common. Elevate running 2 of those, as well as 2 E5s, T100, 113, and a 60 TP to anchor. So Elevate has some DPM with that 113 in there, and of course the T100, a nice sneaky light tank, but light tank is going to be outnumbered by 2 from Joker, which will mean that Mormon G is going to have to be playing a little bit passive here, a little bit scared, just to compensate for the fact that, you know, if he gets caught out, those 2 light tanks are going to be jumping on him immediately. So something for the Elevate light tank player to keep in mind here as we start off on Port Bay, game number 1. Again, best of 3, so only 2 games going to occur. If this is a 2-0, we're not even going to see the tiebreaker map. Right away, it looks like Joker is going to be taking their double Vickers right into the corner. Very nice speedy tank to grab the corner quickly, and of course having that light tank camo definitely not going to be spotted very easily by Elevate's tanks. They do not bring their T100 LT too far forward. I think he may be playing a little bit passively because of those light tanks, but also it seems like their strat isn't entirely focused on the C side. Elevate noticing that Joker is capping the C base, and they are going to be moving their tanks immediately into the town. Light tank going for the A base. He will be on it momentarily. And Elevate also looking towards B, but nothing quite yet. They may be a little bit nervous of those unspotted MLEs, of which there are 2. Steely in a sneaky position here where he's kind of propped himself up over this rock, but also remaining hull down. No, he's not going to stick there for very long, though. A couple tanks from Elevator spotted, and Steely's going to try to put in a side shot into Watashiwa number 1, but unfortunately does miss. Steely not spotted, though. Can relax for the moment. Sorry, I had to pronounce it like that at least once. But actually, it's going to be Assassin Killer taking the first hit of the game. Elevate having that damage advantage now, which is surely enough to propel them to the win. But no, obviously, the supremacy points are the number 1 priority, the number 1 priority according to Watashiwa. But yeah, so Joker does have that lead. Elevate's going to have to do something, and they've got Wrecked from Ohio sitting somewhat near the B base, but he's not even facing that general direction. He's looking this way in case Joker decided to somehow push from the C side, which they are not doing. We can see the light tanks have already rotated to the other side of the map, as well as the SDRVKs, those extremely mobile heavy tanks. Well, to be honest, Joker's got a pretty mobile lineup over all the IS-7, of course. Very quick, heavy tank. That is what it's known for. Always been the fast of the armored heavies in the game. Fastest of the armored heavies in the game, I should say. However, Carpe Noctem not quite treating it like one of those fast heavies. He did not decide to retreat from the area fast enough. He's going to get himself caught out here. The whimsical boy known as MJ going to find him right away, put a shot in. Joker did miss 2, though. Both of the SDRVKs missed their own shots, but Carpe has already lost most of his hit points down to 1,000, and he's got no support right now. If we take a look at the rest of the Elevate team, they are making a push. And look at Steely's spot here. Did not notice Steely's spot. Look at this sneaky little position here in order to delay himself getting shot for as long as possible. He's all the way down here. It's going to take a lot of effort for Ella to start shooting him, and could be a potential bait here for the rest of Joker's tanks, as they do pick up Carpe Noctem off camera, but Mormonji does kind of sneak behind here, put a couple shots into Steely. Mormonji does take one in return. Not a big deal, though. Steely is quite low. But Elevate have also grabbed the C base, and Joker not really worrying about A right now. They are trying to support Steely right now. Rex from Ohio driving up top. Bounce shot there from Milo. But Watashiwa getting potentially pushed here. In come the Vigor's lights. And Watashiwa missing that shot. Going to be important to hit your shots on those light tanks, of course. They don't have a lot of hit points, so if you can put those shots in, those tanks can fall fast. But Mormonji with a little bit of a mistake, they're rotating back into the light tanks. He's just going to get himself caught out immediately. Definitely not the right play. Definitely should have stayed more with the other heavies, as they are now getting counter-pushed, actually, by the rest of Joker's team. So maybe he just didn't have anywhere safe to go at all. Lakami and Pharaoh going to be trying to put in shots. They take down Riri. And in come the MLEs with their large hit points and their large alpha damage guns. They will be putting shots in. Kaori goes down. Watashiwa going to be the next target, going down to the Vickers and the STRVK. That amazing DPM output from all of those tanks is going to be plenty enough to take the tank down. Hugis himself has 2 tanks on him, and he will fall relatively soon. Now it is just Wrecked from Ohio left alone against 7 Joker tanks. Despite taking the push from Elevate, Steely's still alive at the end of the battle. Wrecked going to try to sneak in a kill shot, but no depression to do so. He will put in his last shot, fall to Milo Chilo. Joker taking a nicely rotated game number 1 away from Elevate there. Great movement overall from their team. Pouncing on the weakness that was Elevate losing Carpe Noctem in the IS-7 pretty early on, did not rotate out in time. Carpe still, however, did more damage than Riri, who racked up a total of 1 damage that game. I just want to make that clear. That was 1 damage dealt by Riri. Like, it's funny because, you know, you didn't do 0 damage, right? You hit a shot. Something happened to do 1 damage. And I'm going to give that a special reward there. You get the dunce cap for doing 1 damage. Congratulations, Riri. The spawns will swap here. This is lighthearted. I don't mean to poke fun at an individual. Just a little fun stream thing that I thought I'd pop every once in a while for especially goofy and silly performances. But again, spawns do swap, and we are going to be seeing the NLEs remain for Joker, so this is clearly a tank that they do believe in. Also, triple STRV and double IS-7 to boot, so they've got a lot of mobile heavy tanks. MLE, of course, not the fastest of them, but still can keep its own pace with the rest of them. Elevate running similar IS-7s themselves. They've got 3 of them, though. Subbing out that 113, potentially keeping the E5s. And a T100 LT, so this will be the only light tank in the game now. Elevate will have that mobility advantage. They could potentially try to take that C corner, but those STRVKs could easily push that T100 LT out if needed. Elevate swapping out an E5 for a concept, grabbing a 4th IS-7, so no 113 and no 60 TP for them this time. They realized that maybe that 1 damage tank was not quite enough for them here. So we are going to go ahead and get ready for game number 2. And I think it sounds like I've missed a few notifications here. Let me go ahead and read those all out. In the meantime, I have had to mute them, unfortunately, for the tournament stream. But Grim, with the 2-year sub. Grim, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you for that. Holy cow. The 2-year subscription on Twitch. That is insane. I've been streaming for just like 2.5 years. So you've been around for a long time, and I do appreciate you for that. Also got a lot of follows. I can't read all the follows out, unfortunately, right now, but I do appreciate all of the support that I'm being shown this stream. Of course, I don't want to let that distract me from the gameplay here, so that is why I have to mute everything, and why I can't really read it live, but we will pay attention. Back to the game now. Elevate are going to the corner, but it's not with the T100 LT. Bringing 4 IS-7s over. The Joker are going to be bringing a few of their tanks over into the C corner. MJ going to be finding most of the Elevate team. That's 6 out of the 7 tanks spotted. Everyone except for the T100. And MJ going to be quickly backing away from that one. Not taking much damage, though. Only 1 shot going in. And in fact, it is Carpe Noctem that has taken the majority of punishment so far in this battle. Those MLEs putting in some very nice shots. And in come the STRVKs from behind. They're going for a DPM blast right now. Kujis, Riri, potentially the first targets here. Of course, the armor on the IS-7 is going to be, or sorry, the mobility on the IS-7 enough to bring it away from the fire only momentarily, but the STRVKs have even more superior mobility than the IS-7 with that special speed boost that Farah put in. Assassin's taken a few hits, but Riri is going to be the first to fall here. No question about it. Actually, slight question about it, guys. Riri, okay, he does fall, but it was pretty close here. Assassin will be taken down by the Concept 1B. Unfortunately, though, lots of low hit point tanks here on Elevate's side. They do pick up Lakami, though. That was a good focus fire there before they lose Kujis. Hit points are still 3,000 difference, though. Kaori going to be the next target here from Joker. And again, they've just got all of their tanks ready and lined up here. MJ going to be able to pick up this kill, no problem. Or maybe Steely will use the shot. No, Steely's going to use it. Might as well with the extra alpha damage. Yellow gets traded, though, and it is a 4-on-4, so honestly, respect to Elevate for keeping this close in terms of tanks. But Watashiwa, not quite doing the best in terms of his own hit points. He may be able to put in another shot. He does put one into Kakati. Ormanji could pick up the kill here. He does. So for a brief moment, Elevate does have the tank advantage. However, in comes Steely, a full hit point MLE 54. He is not going to be able to do much here. Almost going for the double kill with that ram, but unfortunately not quite enough. Watashiwa living on 41. Will be able to put in one more shot. Nope, doesn't quite go in. He goes down. It is just wrecked from Ohio, left alone against many, many tanks from Joker. And by many, many, of course, I mean 3 of them. But it is 3 too many for wrecked from Ohio to handle at this point in time. Joker going to be taking this set 2-0 as well, securing themselves a spot in the grand finals for today, and also qualifying for tomorrow, PYS day number 2. Very nicely done. Congrats to Joker on their dub. And yeah, I don't know exactly when the next match is. I take that back. I found it. It is MPs versus Elevate. So MPs did win against Elevate. I am going to head and switch to the just chatting scene while I get everything set up, and so that I don't show the training room ahead of time. But I will put MPs right in here. I am going to go ahead and remove the logos again because I don't have one for MPs, but that is all good. Welcome to everyone who's just shown up in the chat. Shutter, welcome. Smash that like button. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for that. Pobreza, unfortunately, I do not speak whichever language you are asking questions in. But if you are trying to inform people in the chat, maybe something about drops, I do not have drops here, unfortunately. So, yeah. And Sam's here. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Sam, AJ's here. Pessoa. Shoto's here. Florian. What is up, Florian? Sorry, I read that as Florian, but you're Tyrannos. It's just the first thing, of course, in your nickname. But welcome to the stream. SLVR, Sliver. Hello, hello. Hope that y'all are enjoying the tournament so far. AJ, if you are able to do predictions tomorrow, that would be awesome. I didn't see if anyone would be able to show up, which is not a big deal, of course. You know, it's mostly the top 8 where the betting gets pretty big, but yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to follow chat in any languages other than English, so if there are any questions being asked in that language, I can't really answer. But looks like MPs were the victors between themselves and PT2K. Let me see if I can find what the score was. Looks like PT2K got O2'd. Unfortunate for them, they were not able to take a game for PYS number 1. They are eliminated in 4th place for the group number 5 to be exact. And MPs with a shot. Again, they've already played Elevate once, which was a 2-0 as well. But who knows, maybe this time will be more interesting. We are on a different map. Map going to be Castilla here. We can go ahead and show everything. Here we go. Castilla, the map. And we got some interesting lineups for MPs, at least. They're running lots of IS-7s, but also double 95E6, which is a super hyper mobile of the heavy tanks, the fastest of the heavy tanks in tier 10, really, if you discount the super speed boost that the Sturv gets, which puts it ahead just for like a brief moment in time. But the 95E6 is actually pretty fast. Very quick tank. Honestly, could be classified as a medium. It's got those heavy hit points though, and a heavy type gun. I'm going to concept as well to round out the 7 tanks, so I'm very curious to see what kind of strategy they will use with a hyper mobile lineup here on Castilla. But rather hyper mobile for the heavies, because, you know, if you typical hyper mobile, I am struggling to speak right now. A typical hyper mobile lineup that you tend to see on the map Castilla consists of a lot of light tanks. So the fact that they're using fast heavy tanks, but notably the I-7 being a fast straight line heavy tank, makes me wonder if they're just doing a straight line rush down maybe the C side, entirely possible down the A side. A little bit questionable for the north spawn, but doable, I suppose. Yeah, curious to see what MPs wants to do for this one. But on the other side, we do have Elevate, who are rocking a vast you know, wide array of tanks, I should say. They've got 60 TP, IS-4, IS-7, Sturv, E5, Kronvan. So 6 different tanks in their lineup here. Obviously have some sort of diverse idea of what they want to do with each of those tanks. Elevate going to be fighting from the south spawn, which is normally considered to be the worst spawn of the 2. But I'm sure that Elevate is feeling confident right now after they've already defeated MPs once, so they are not worried about having the disadvantaged spawn, I am sure. Let's see on that grind. Oh, ratings grind. Gotcha. Good luck with the 1v1 tournament, by the way, if you guys are doing your rating stuff. I will be streaming that hopefully on the 29th. Probably could. Sounds good, AJ. No worries if you can't, though, but I do appreciate it. Day 1 of PYS, not really a big deal for getting those predictions, but day 2 might be nice to have. You know, you never know what the matchups are going to be, and there's a lot of high win rate tanks for this PYS. There's, in fact, what was it? Was it 10 of the teams that were above 65% win rate? Maybe it was even higher than that. I don't honestly remember. I'll go ahead and check that right now, I suppose, while everything is loading up. But there's a lot of high win rate teams, this team. I mean, 32 to 35 are above 50%. Let's see. 2, 3, 5, 7. 15, 14 or 15 teams above that 65%. So that's pretty impressive, to be honest. I think this is a relatively competitive season despite having a lower number of teams that are actually playing right now. So yeah, day 2 PYS could always be fun for predictions. Anyway, let's go ahead and focus in on the game here. And Elevate actually going to be doing something that I thought maybe MPs was going to be doing, which is rushing a lot of tanks towards the seaside. MPs is going for an A push after all, which I think is pretty funny because I wasn't really sure how great of an idea that would be to do from the north spawn. Just got to cross over this river and everything, although I suppose, you know, if you cross the river earlier, maybe better than crossing it later on in the push. I don't really know. It remains to be seen, I suppose, where we have this giant battle here between the two teams pushing. MPs does take the cap lead, though, grabbing A before Elev takes C, and Elev not in any rush to grab B, which is fine for MPs because they aren't really defending it right now. Seems like Elevate's probably going to be playing this one a little bit slower, considering all of their heavy tanks, but ooh, the 95A6 getting spotted out early. Nikara could have taken a hit there, a little bit scary. Victor going to be spotting out that IS-4. Not actually lit himself. Interesting. But Elevate, again, pretty passive right now. They've got their IS-4 lined up to do some spotting. 60 TP on the ramp to do the same. Kaori on the other side in the IS-7, although he seems to be rotating back, as they have detected plenty of EMPs tanks running through Elevate's own spawn here. Elevate starting to bring their forces back. 60 GPs are rotating on in. 60 GPs, of course, are a very effective way to oppress an enemy push because that large alpha damage, incredibly intimidating. A pretty little thing will pop out. Spot Teller in there in the IS-7. I hope that I didn't butcher that pronunciation too bad. Teller going to be bouncing that initial shot, and in comes Pretty Little Thing to put one in straight away. Nice shot there. Teller going to counter push. No, not quite, because in comes Mormonji to support as well. P's starting to bring all their tanks in, though. That's 3 of them spotted, and Oni-chan going to be a 4th tank coming on in here and Elevate. 3 tanks have their lone lined up, but the Kronvon, an amazing tank as well at holding back enemy pushes because of that really nice clip potential. And while, ooh, missing those shots though, that's not very good for them, and MPs actually have a little bit of a push coming on here. Elevate is going to grab the B base, which will put a little bit of pressure on MPs to push quickly here, get those kills in order to keep the cap points alive. But Haitiano is going to be taking lots of shots himself here. He's going to need to hit point share for him, and they're trying to block the best that they can, but unfortunately they didn't account for Pretty Little Thing being able to get the kill anyway from the other side. Orman G does fall though, so the push isn't honestly going too bad here for MP. Sorry about the camera work here. Elevate does have a bit of an isolation here on Victor, though. Victor is going to fall. MP's also lost Haitiano and Castro, sorry. So Castro was the next to fall there. And Talarin going to go down as well, so it's a 6-on-3 scenario. MPs, although I did like their idea with the bush, their focus fire was not enough to get them more than 1 kill so far. There is the second in Carpe Noctem, and Watashiwa could fall as well, but unlikely. All of these tanks here from Elevate are ready to get the kill on either of these two. They're not really shooting though. Who are they aiming at? I can't really tell. Aiming at Zero Day, that's the plan. They do take Zero Day out. Oni-chan may actually be able to pick up this kill after all, but Elevate's going to pick him up soon. And Nikara still in the 1v1 here, which it seems like Elevate is respecting the 1v1. Honestly, I can appreciate that. I don't even know if it's going to come down to this kill, though, because Elevate is at 992 cap points, and that is the cap win there for the team. And Nikara Gense, I don't know how to pronounce that, unfortunately, and I don't really want to butcher it, but this person was able to get the shot in before falling. Great stream. Thank you, Tony. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Edgeman, or ADJ man, nice commentary. Too bad any turns are foregone conclusion. Unfortunately, for day 1 of these things, that's kind of how it is. Although, to be fair, I would say that most servers are like that, Asia and Europe as well. Day number 1 of a previous skill is right. It's the top 8, top 16 clans weeding out the rest of the competition. That's how it goes. On NA, there's just not enough teams for there to be a lot of competition at that highest level. There's only 35 teams registered, right? So we're only going to be having, what, 18 teams tomorrow, because there's 9 groups and 2 from each move on. This is basically just weeding out the lower half on the first day, to be honest, which is usually pretty predictable. But that's true no matter what server you're playing on. So day 1, always, you know, you expect to see the result that you get. Day 2, on the other hand, it's where it's different, because on NA, again, you can usually predict what's going to happen on day 2. On Europe, you don't always predict it. You know, saw in Europe today that APA beat, I think it was Endgame, 4-1, which was impressive considering APA lost their main caller. And so people didn't expect that result, but it happened anyway, which shows how good APA is. But, you know, that is the difference between NA and Europe, is there's just so much more teams that are competing at the highest level. Whereas NA, your top 4 is pretty much predictable, with the occasional, like, upset, maybe one team making it in, but, you know, it is what it is. I enjoy streaming it either way. I think it's a lot of fun, and I will continue to do it because it's something that I enjoy. Game number 2 about to begin here in Elev, now having the North spawn, which is considered to be the better one. We will see what interesting strats they bring with their lineup here. Not running any super crazy tanks, to be honest. I mean, they've got a Sheridan in there, but Sheridan to be used for spotting. I wouldn't be surprised if they put it up on the TD perch to try to spot a B cap. However, they may not even waste their time with it, noticing that MPs doesn't even have a single light tank, just like last game, no light tank for them. And keeping the 95 E6 in the game, getting rid of one for a 113. I do respect the 113 pick. I think it's an underrated tank. It doesn't really have the armor at the highest level, but that damage output's pretty good. It just doesn't really have anything to compensate for the lack of armor. You know, the damage, of course, is nice, but when you already have tanks like the STRVK that have mobility and DPM, right, it's just hard to justify using a 113. But look at MPs crossing straight away, and let's see what Elevate does to punish. Their STRVs are getting in here. Shots going into Rocket League. The rest of Elevate does need to get themselves in here because the Kronvons are going to start taking shots. Honestly, I respect what Wrecked from Ohio is doing right now and backing off while letting the rest of the clip reload, because when you shoot too early in the Kronvon, you just don't have a clip. Rocket League, though, taking tons of damage here. He's going to fall very quickly. If I were him, I would stop pushing here. You want to stay safe. But, oh my goodness, did all of those tanks just miss Wrecked from Ohio right there? He should be getting kills right now. They should definitely be killing Watashiwa and Wrecked. But they've already lost 2 tanks before getting their first kill. Definitely a failed push there. Watashiwa able to kite completely, and now the rest of Elevate is here to support a crossfire. Haishiano taking 1,000 damage plus just to cross over here and get a chance at killing Watashiwa, which is an amazing trade if you are Elevate right now. Look at Pretty Little Thing. I was actually correct about where he would end up, just on this top little TD spot over here. Does take a shot from 0 Day, which is admittedly potentially poor focus fire from MP's part, but I mean, I suppose the Sheridan is a threat, so might as well try to shoot it out while you can. He's going to try to put another shot in. Not really easy to do it from there without the gun depression, but, you know, you can do it. 2 tanks now from MPs go down. It was a 6-on-5, now a 6-on-3. Elevate's just going to drive on in. Kaori's taken plenty of damage. All 3 tanks tap him. But it's not going to matter too much for Elevate, as they've got plenty of hit points to spare. They will end the game quickly here. Sheridan putting a shot in from up top. Not really going for a big ram, which would have been a nice, funny little goofy, silly haha moment, but they will take it regardless. Kaori falling last second, so at least MPs could say they got 2 kills that time. Respectable. GG there, though. Elevate's going to take that one. And yeah, this is a very quick PYS number 1, day 1, as Elevate has already secured themselves a spot in the Grand Finals. Again, playing against Joker, which we already did see once. I don't know when this will start. Looks like, never mind, I do. It's right now. And Joker Elevate going to make a run back here. I'm going to cut this back and adjust chatting as I do my stream adjustments to account for all of this. And the first map is going to be New Bay. Again, this is another best of 3. Everything for day 1 is best of 3, so we may only see 2 games here if Joker's just that crazy, or if Elevate pulls off something absolutely sicko mode. But New Bay is going to be the map here. And I will go ahead and set everything up. We can bring the icons back out. Pretty hype for that. Love seeing the icons. Yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying. I'm doing my best to make things as interesting as I can. You know, I try to put out the good content, even if the gameplay itself is a little one-sided. Give us a Switch tutorial on that green screen tank you're in. Well, you see, I would, but I don't want to accidentally, you know, blow something up, right? I'll admit, this is a new tank for me. You know, I didn't sit in this tank last season. This is a new one for me. So, you know, I still don't know what all the buttons do yet, and I don't want to accidentally fire the cannon, right? I don't speak Portuguese. No, I don't speak any languages. I tried to learn Spanish at one point. It didn't go well. It didn't go well. Like, I was always bad at it in school, and then I tried picking it up again after school, just like a lot later down the line. I can't do languages, man. It's just not something I'm good at. Which is, you know, it is what it is. A couple things they're asking. Yeah, I appreciate you, Pobreza. You're all good, man. I do appreciate that from you. Bonus is speaking 3 languages. That's awesome. I am jealous of people that are multilingual. I wish I could do it. It would be really cool, but I don't have that kind of talent, and I don't have that kind of wiring in my brain. I am more of like a math person. I'm an engineer in real life, outside of streaming Blitz. And as you could probably guess by, you know, the fact that my name is a number, yeah, I'm a numbers person, not really, you know, much of a language person. That the Joker Elf match should be the last for tonight. This is the last one. This is another Joker Elf match. Ahaha. Rect W player. He's a gamer. They're all gamers. Alright, I think we are good to go ahead and show the training room. And here we are on New Bay. This is the 4th set of the day that we will watch. This is the final one of the day. So I hope that you all are going to enjoy it. Looks like we've got 40 of you guys all on today. This is exciting. 40 of you all on for day 1 of PYS. This is the boring day. Imagine how many people are going to be showing up for the hype exciting days where you got your Joker versus Apex, I don't know, your Origin versus Ponda or 4L or something interesting like that, right? I hope that we get several of those, you know, high profile matches at some point, but those are usually pretty rare for Prove Your Skills. I remember, I think it was fall season, the only time that any top level teams played each other in PYS was PYS number 1, Leverage and Apex played each other, and I think Leverage won that set. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Leverage did win that set. But yeah, for the most part, the high-level teams aren't really playing themselves too much in the Prove Your Skills. But the round robins, now those get exciting because every team is playing every team. And the only regret that I have is that we don't have more streamers on A to cover all of the games, because there's a lot of really good even matchmaking, matchmaking, whatever. The matchmaking is determined by the teams and what tanks they pick. The matchups, though, those are exciting. Speaking of matchups, we have a very different set of tanks on either team here. Joker opting for VK72s, a very strong tank that we saw dominating in the 1v1 tournament in its own right. The 60 TP was another popular choice for the 1v1 tournament. We got 4 of those on an Elevate team. Joker also going to be running that out with 2 Super Conquerors. First that we're going to see of the night, but I know that's not going to be the last we see of them this tournament. Extremely strong tank, very sleeper pick that some people are even thinking is better than the T125, which honestly, I can see the merits of such an opinion. They will bring an IS-7 and a Concept 1B to round it out. Interesting to bring a Concept as opposed to a Super Conqueror in the E5, of which I think both are probably better, but the Concept probably has its own role. Joker obviously knows what they are doing with their lineups. Going back to Elevate, they've got 4 60 TPs as we just saw. They've got plenty of alpha damage of their own to try to counteract the VK72s. 1 Kronvon and 2 STR VK, so they are going to put a little bit of DPM in that lineup as well. 1 Clipper action, and yeah, so they're a healthy mix of tanks, I would say, for both teams. I will say I'm slightly concerned if those 60 DPs have vulnerable ammo racks for the massive alpha damage cannons of the VK72. I would not be that surprised if we did see an ammo rack happen this game. And that would not be very good for Elevate. Obviously, they're already down in the hit points by about 1,000 just by virtue of the tank lineups. In regards to the tank directions, Joker are going to be bringing most of their tanks all the way up towards the A side of ramp. Going to find Riri as well, though. A couple shots going in, both Super Conquerors, putting in a sneaky one just to start things off. Riri already down to less than 2,000 hit points. Elev, however, don't have anyone else to support this player. The rest of them are all over in the C base. C base was just taken by the double SDRVKs. Looks like Kakati snuck in a shot to Kujis as well, so really good opening plays here from Joker. They've already bled over 1,000 hit points from the Elevate team. They don't have a base quite yet, but it looks like they will grab A here. They've got MJ in the IS-7 to do that. It's a nice quick heavy tank to be able to do so. An interesting position here. I want to see what Assassin is doing in the VK-72. Okay, I thought maybe they were backed up a little bit further and potentially going for some sort of trap play in the B base. But I do like the position that Assassin's in right now because he's backed up just enough so that he can see the SDRVK and pull forward. Interesting there, but I really think that's an intelligent play. But in comes Lakami as well, and the Stirs who are pushing in are going to find themselves against massive alpha damage. So big shot there from Assassin into Jetasaur, but they're going to start taking a little bit of damage here. Elevate needs to get these guns starting to sing here against Lakami. Assassin Killer not going to turn around and save him, nor will Kakatsi. They are focused on... Oh my goodness, right off camera, Jetasaur gets ammo racked. Or was that on camera? That was right here. There's your ammo rack. I predicted that one, to be honest with you. Lakami does take a lot of damage from these Elevate SDRVKs though, and finally Joker is going to bring some backup in here, but not before Riri falls as well on the other side of the map here. Down goes Lakami, but MJ is now behind the SDRVKs and in come Joker. However, Elevate is pushing quickly behind. Sorry, my camera work is a little bit struggling right now. Kujis dies on the other side of the map. Super Conquerors and Concept 1B are going to be quick to follow here though, so Elevate's going to have to get these kills quickly. Kaori's just trying to survive as long as he can. You do not want to take shots from many tanks here. And picking up Assassin without taking an extra shot here, they should be able to chase down MJ. MJ driving himself into a corner there. He's going to take lots of damage. 60p going to chase him down. And hit points are actually dead even right now. The only issue is Mormon G has found himself alone against 3 tanks right now, able to put one more shot in before he dies. But we do have a tank advantage here for Joker in the end. They're up about 500 hit points, and MJ in that IS-7 tank is fast enough to back off, and Joker happens to be lined up here. The rest of their tanks were left off fighting against Mormonji in this area, and they are now here to push off any former advances that Elev may have considered doing against MJ here. 60 DP going to try to do a little bit of a side scrape action, but no, he's just going to take damage here. Ado going to take some damage, but put in a shot to Pretty Little Thing, who is now the focus fire target for Elevate. He puts one more big one into Steely, who is now on 324, could fall here, but Elevate not putting in that extra shot, unfortunately. They're taking their time looking at Ado instead, so it's a 3-on-2 scenario. Hit points are actually technically an advantage here for Elevate, but Rex missing that shot was a little bit unfortunate of them. It's the double SDRVKs that are alone against 3 tanks. Rex going to try to put in a shot to Steely, puts one into Pharaoh instead. Kaori going to take a shot from MJ, who will just back right off now. Plenty of time to reload, and Kaori can't take another hit. Fires a shot for no good reason whatsoever. Pharaoh and Steely are just hit point sharing like a boss, and they're going to be able to take care of Rex from Ohio. No problem, most likely here. Missing the kill shot on Steely, and Pharaoh's going to be able to pick this one up. Low roll. So Rex still alive, really be able to put the kill in. Steely trying to bait the shot. Again, missed there. Looking back at Kaori versus MJ. No, MJ doesn't even care about Kaori. He's just going to go for the bothersome push here on Rex. Intelligent play there from Joker. As soon as Rex turns his turret, Steely's starting to turn in there. But now that Rex is looking at Steely, MJ coming around for the kill, and Kaori now left alone against 3. Picks up the kill on Steely, which is very impressive. And Pharaoh also being a one-shot. Things aren't out of the realm of possibility for Kaori, but 1,000 hit points on MJ. Kaori was not able to put in shots earlier on, which is going to be the doom of Elevate this game most likely. Joker is up on the cap points, and they are going to step into the B base most likely. Kaori going to try to make his way to A, but there we go. MJ sitting on the B base, and yeah, things are not looking too good for Kaori here. A little bit scary. Is he going to step into A? Stepping into A, probably not worth it at this point. You know you're not going to win the caps. May as well try and see if you can sneak something on one of them. Bring it back a little bit, make it close, make it a 1v1 if you can catch the kill on Pharaoh. But props to Kaori and Elevate for making the game this close in the first place. Unfortunately, if Rect did put in another shot or two with the SDRVK not missing all those bait shots, things could be completely different for their team right now. But what this is showing us right now is that Elevate does have a chance here. Elevate has a shot. Carry is going to find Pharaoh, pick up the kill, but he knows exactly where MJ is at right now. He's in the C base, he's grabbed it, and Curry will have to make a push. Despite being a one-shot, it would take a lot of unfortunate decisions here on MJ's part to throw this game, but he's going to pick it off straight away. Joker taking game one, although it was a lot closer than many of you may have expected it to be. Really nicely done there. Also, I know I missed a couple notifications during this set so far. I'm going to have to go back and read them out. It was 100 bits from Soap. What is up, Soap? How are you doing, man? Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it, all 100 of them. Hope that your work was good. Dude, hope that you're enjoying the stream as well. Game number one, despite my poor efforts at camera work, you know, it was still a really nice, fun game to watch, hopefully, especially the end game. There was just action on both sides of the map. I thought that the action that happened to be where the VK-72s were was more interesting and more consequential for the outcome of the game. But, you know, that's just how competitive goes, especially on maps like New Bay that are just so difficult to navigate through because of the tall buildings. You can't see what's going on both sides of the map. I kind of have to pick and choose one or the other. Very difficult for me to kind of zoom in and out between both of them. So I think that it was a sufficient job at covering the action that was crucial for the game's outcome. Game number two going to begin here in about a minute, and Joker completely switching up their lineup here, now going for much more DPM here with triple SDRVK where they didn't have any of them last game. Elevate going to be getting away from those SDRVKs. They will keep one of them, but the 60 DPs will remain. In fact, they're adding another one. Actually, the lineup is pretty similar. They just subbed an SDRV for a 60 DP, so very similar lineup here for Elevate after all. The double IS4 for Joker will be interesting. Looks like they didn't like the Super Conquerors last battle, maybe. Either that or this is just what their strategy that they've already determined for practice. Maybe that's just what has been dictated to them. Yo! What is up, Crow? How you doing, man? I tried but slapped with insane requirements. That's tough, man. I wish you luck with the content creator grind, but obviously, you know, your work is cut out for you, I suppose. I think you can get there. I think you can get there. Now that I think about it, I wonder how differently this game would have turned up without that ammo rack. Ho 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 ho. Would Elevate have won? Who knows? Well, Joker is going to be pushing much more heavily into C this time as opposed to primarily A-based strat. Elevate going primarily for A instead of B. They're going to have Pretty Little Thing on his own in a Kronvon trying to hold off, see what's going on this side. I don't know the purpose of the tank, but if he drove forward for just a little bit longer, yep, he will spot MJ. Missing the shot, though. Steely Kakati also getting spotted here. Kakati going to be taking the first hit. Gets his ammo rack damage from Kujis, but thankfully was not a full-blown ammo rack. What a shot from Kakati. Right back into Kujis. That was a very impressive one. Very low profile to hit there, but does so very effectively. Steely's going to take a hit. Now, Elevate's pushed pretty far forward here. They are... Sorry, not pretty far forward. They've dropped back. They're all the way back in their spawn. I'm going to see if they can draw Joker out a little bit more. Both teams have bled a similar amount, although Elevate starting to lose their hit point evenness here. They're now down by about 1,400 or so. Rekt was able to grab the A base a little bit after C was taken, but now is that the Kronvon stepping onto B only briefly. But Rekt from Ohio is getting jumped now. Edu in the SGRVK going to be pushing from behind. Lakami going to be forward with the crossfire, and Rekt is going to be taking a lot of quick damage here. Uh-oh. Or through the hill there. Through the ramp, I should say. Going to be, yeah, the quick target here, as well as Pretty Little Thing, who pushed forward. Somehow took a bunch of damage of his own. I didn't even see where it all came from. Where did all of those hit points go? Did everyone from the Joker side in the middle here just push it all out? I don't really know. Either way, we are going to be seeing Erect from Ohio falling in just a second. He does so. I was just trying to switch to him. Couldn't in time. MJ, the focus fire target here from Elevate, but he's going to be covered here a little bit from Farah, and Mormonji not interested in putting in that shot. He's going to try to go for something big on Lakumi. Will be able to pick up the kill, though. Going to have to roll pretty good. 680. No, 677. Going to leave him on 3 hit points. Lakumi will be pushing in here. Mormonji not able to get the kill after all. In this game, much less close than the one before. Joker has not yet lost the tank. Jetasaur will fall to Kakati right here. Nope, missed shot there. Little silly goofy moment, but it goes down now. Real thing still sniping far away. In the Kronvon, he will likely be the last left alive. Down goes Kaori. Watashi falls as well. And this will be a clean 2-0 sweep from Joker, although unfortunately for Elevate, they did have a shot at winning game 1. It slipped away from them just barely, but, you know, it's those small little encounters in a game that can make the big difference. And Joker will take that 2-0. Well played to them, of course. The defending champions expected no less of them. Admittedly looked a little bit shaky tonight as compared to their regular self. You know, their set against PT2K, absolutely sloppy. No, obviously this was all sarcasm. The entire commentary for the set versus PT2K was sarcasm. It was for comedy, but I hope that y'all enjoyed it regardless. But almost dropping a game to Elevate there. Joker's probably, honestly, in full seriousness, maybe they do have something that they need to work on, because reality, they are the top 1 team. They rarely drop games at all to teams outside the top 4. So they should definitely get themselves back in the lab and try to figure out what happened that game. And hopefully this stream can provide them with a little bit of resources that they could use for identifying what exactly went wrong. I didn't see any major particular mistakes from Joker that game, but you know, there was probably something that I could nitpick on if I went back and watched it, as opposed to having to focus on the battle as a whole as a commentator, but I digress. I hope that y'all enjoyed day number 1 of PYS. You can go ahead and take a look and see. Actually, let's go ahead and do this on the website. So I will take a moment here in order to pull up the website and take a look at all of the groups. So we can go ahead and do that now. Here's my screen. You guys can take a look. I will move myself off to the side again. Whoop. By the way, if y'all didn't know, you can find my YouTube link here as well. Pretty exciting. I'll go ahead and click on it and it'll bring you to me. Here's me. I'm streaming. Obviously this is 3-minute delay, but if y'all wanted to see me, that is how you can do so. But yeah, so we're gonna take a look at the brackets, and I need to zoom out and refresh. For some reason when I'm zoomed in it doesn't really like it. No, I have to do this. Okay, it's fine. Show all groups. So taking a look at group number 1, Origin beat Hated 2-0 in the upper bracket finals. They are currently playing Hated again in the Grands. So Hated and Origin will move on for group number 1. Group number 2, it's going to be 4L in first and 1pex in second. Group number 3, MM and VG will qualify. No surprises there, however. MM looking really good. 2-0ing VG, which was a high win rate clan. And MM, who previously struggled last season, already getting themselves on the board here. The score is 0-0. My face is blocking this. I'm going to move myself down even further so you guys can see the scores. So, Origin Hated still playing. 4L wins over 1pex 2-0, but they still both qualify. This set's still going on. SLG versus DVNY. No upsets here. Obviously, this is the group that we watched. And group number 6, Reggie INQ qualifying. So again, no surprises. If you take a look at over on this side, the top team from each group is expected. You know, they are the higher seeded group, higher seeded team. No upsets at all here though. Honda cleaning out Veli, but Veli actually does drop to Hako in the lower bracket finals. So Veli, who were favored to win there, did lose 2-0. Hako going to be the team to qualify. Now Veli, who was top 16 last season, they've already dropped up from PYS 1. Obviously, they have plenty of time to make it up because there's 3 more PYSs after this one, but got to be disappointing for them to start. Group number 8, Nox and Straight. Ooh, Nox actually going to be beating Straight there. I know Nox has some pretty sleeper members their team this time around, but Straight going to be facing them again in the Grands, so both of these teams qualify either way. Chrono going to be dropping. RIP Chrono. This is a very old-time clan. And Group 9, Apex qualifying as well as INHO. No surprises here either. Well, Apex did drop a game to INHO over there, so something to think about. And that is how things are looking in terms of your top 18 teams. Yo, wait, we have some bits going on right here. 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Obviously, I've got my alerts muted because of the stream, but holy cow, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 bits from Tanks. Dude, thank you for the 500 bits, man. I'm sorry that you have to watch this on the delay and they were muted because of the tournament, but dude, thank you so much. 500 bits. Very nice, dude. So kind. You're very appreciated here. And yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for the 500 bits, man. Whew, we're not going to go ahead and wait for the rest of the tournament to finish up because, you know, it's not really worth doing at this point. I think we can go ahead and call it here. So I'm going to go ahead and see who I can raid if I am on Twitch. Sorry, if you are on Twitch, then you can raid the person that I am about to start raiding right about now. So y'all should go ahead and do that if you can. YouTube, I'm going to wish you all farewell, and I hope that y'all enjoyed day number 1 of the tournament. Again, there's plenty more to come. I hope to stream every day of the tournament. I don't know how realistic that will be at the moment. I don't think I have any conflicting plans, but you know, that could all change. You never know. You never know. But I will do my absolute best to stream every day that I can for this tournament. So yeah, that's going to be it for day number 1. I hope that y'all enjoyed today. If you did, make sure to drop a follow on Twitch if you haven't already, subscribe on YouTube, and join the Discord. We just hit 800 members not that long ago, which is insane. And I would love to have y'all around. So yeah, as always, stay safe. Happy tanking.